Iran is a country that has been under pressure for many years. This pressure comes from inside the country and also from the outside world. Many people talk about Iran in the news, but it is not always easy to understand what is really happening. To understand the situation better, we need to look at politics, economy, daily life, and international relations in a simple way. One of the biggest reasons Iran is under pressure is international sanctions. Sanctions are rules made by other countries to limit trade, money, and travel. The United States and some of its allies believe that Iran's nuclear program is dangerous. Because of this, they have placed strong sanctions on Iran. These sanctions make it very hard for Iran to sell oil, receive money from abroad, and buy important goods. As a result, the Iranian economy has suffered greatly. Inflation is very high in Iran. Prices of food, medicine, and fuel have increased a lot. Many families find it difficult to afford basic things. Salaries do not increase as fast as prices, so people feel poorer every year. Young people, especially, feel frustrated because jobs are limited and opportunities are few. Many educated Iranians want to leave the country to find a better future abroad. Inside the country, the government also faces pressure from its own people. Protests have happened many times in recent years. People protest about high prices, unemployment, lack of freedom, and corruption. Some protests are peaceful, but others turn violent. The government often responds strongly, which increases tension between the people and the authorities. This creates fear but also anger among citizens. At the same time, Iran plays an important role in the Middle East. It supports groups and governments in countries like Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and Yemen. Iran says it does this to protect its interests and defend itself from enemies. However, other countries see this as a threat. Because of this, Iran has difficult relationships with Israel, Saudi Arabia, and some Western nations. These regional conflicts add more pressure on Iran's government. Another major issue is Iran's nuclear program. Iran says its nuclear work is for peaceful purposes, such as energy and research. But many countries worry that Iran may want to build nuclear weapons. Talks and agreements have been made in the past, like the nuclear deal in 2015. That deal reduced sanctions in exchange for limits on Iran's nuclear activities. However, when the United States left the deal, tensions returned. Negotiations continue, but trust is low on both sides. Daily life in Iran continues despite all these problems. People go to work, students go to school, and families try to live normal lives. Iranian culture is rich, with strong traditions in poetry, music, food, and family values. Hospitality is very important, and people often help each other during hard times. This shows the strength of Iranian society even under pressure. Women in Iran face special challenges. There are strict rules about clothing and behavior, and many women feel these rules limit their freedom. In recent years, women have played a strong role in protests and social movements. They want more rights, equality, and respect. Their voices have become louder, even though the risks are high. The pressure on Iran is not only political or economic, it is also psychological. Constant uncertainty about the future causes stress and fear. People worry about war, more sanctions, or even the collapse of the economy. At the same time, there is hope. Many Iranians believe change is possible through patience, education, and dialogue. From the international side, the world is divided on how to deal with Iran. Some countries believe pressure and sanctions will force Iran to change. Others think dialogue and cooperation are better solutions. Iran itself says it wants respect and fair treatment. This disagreement makes the situation complex and slow to resolve. In conclusion, Iran under pressure is not a simple story. It is about politics, economy, people, and global power. Sanctions, protests, regional conflicts, and nuclear talks all play a role. But behind the headlines are real people trying to live their lives. Understanding Iran means looking beyond the news and seeing both the struggles and the strength of its people. The future of Iran remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: pressure alone cannot tell the whole story. Iran continues to face strong pressure from many directions, and this pressure affects every part of the country. When people hear about Iran in the news, they often hear about conflict, sanctions, or political tension. However, the reality is deeper and more human. Iran is not only a government or a political system, it is a nation of millions of people who wake up every day and try to live meaningful lives under difficult conditions. Economic pressure is one of the biggest challenges for Iran today. Sanctions have limited Iran's ability to trade with other countries. Oil, which is one of Iran's main sources of income, cannot be sold freely. Banks are restricted, and international companies are afraid to do business with Iran. Because of this, the country earns less money, and the government struggles to manage the economy. Ordinary people feel this pressure the most. Prices rise quickly, but incomes remain low, making daily life harder each year. Small businesses suffer greatly. Shop owners, farmers, and factory workers face shortages of materials and higher costs. Some businesses close, and others reduce staff. This leads to unemployment, especially among young people. Many young Iranians are educated and skilled, but they cannot find good jobs. This creates disappointment and a feeling that their future is uncertain. Some try to leave the country, while others stay and hope for change. Social pressure is also increasing. People want more freedom in their personal lives. They want to express themselves, choose their lifestyles, and speak openly. Social media has given people a voice, but it has also increased tension. The government tries to control information, but ideas travel fast. When people see how others live in different parts of the world, they begin to question their own situation more strongly. Iran's relationship with the outside world plays a major role in this pressure. Iran has tense relations with the United States and some European countries. At the same time, it builds stronger ties with countries like China and Russia. Iran believes it must protect its independence and not depend on the West. Critics argue that isolation makes life harder for the people. This debate continues inside Iran, with different opinions about the best path forward. Security concerns add another layer of stress. Iran feels surrounded by enemies and threats. Because of this, it invests heavily in defense and military power. The government believes strength is necessary for survival. However, military spending means less money for public services like education, health care, and infrastructure. People often ask why their daily needs are not the top priority. Culture and religion remain central to Iranian life. Religious traditions shape laws and social rules. For some people, these traditions provide comfort and identity. For others, they feel restrictive. This difference in views creates tension between generations. Younger people often want more flexibility, while older generations may prefer tradition and stability. This generational gap is one of the quiet pressures shaping Iran's future. Despite all these challenges, Iranian society shows resilience. Families support each other, neighbors help in times of need, and communities find ways to survive. Art, poetry, and music continue to flourish, even under limits. Many artists use symbols and stories to express feelings that cannot be spoken openly. This creative energy shows that pressure has not destroyed hope. Education is still highly valued. Students work hard to succeed, even when resources are limited. Universities produce talented graduates in science, engineering, and medicine. Many Iranians believe education is the key to long-term change. They hope that knowledge and understanding will open doors in the future, both inside and outside the country. The future of Iran depends on many factors. Internal reform, international relations, economic decisions, and social movements will all shape what comes next. Pressure can lead to collapse, but it can also lead to change. History shows that societies under pressure sometimes find new strength and direction. In the end, Iran under pressure is not only a political issue, it is a human story. It is about parents worrying about their children, young people dreaming of better lives, and a nation searching for balance between tradition and change. Understanding this story helps us see Iran not just as a headline, but as a living, breathing society facing one of the most challenging periods in its history.